I think first of all, I'm very excited about the prospect of having a lot of kids on the podium. I think that, you know, historically we've been a team that kind of nibbles at the point table, but we've got a lot of kids that can finish in the top 3 spots and be all conference, and that's always exciting because I feel like younger kids feed off of that. That becomes a goal and then ultimately an expectation for them. Seeing people that they look up to, hey, he can do it, I can do it, kind of thing. So that's a lot of excitement there. And then, also this year on particularly the men's side, the standings of teams where we expect people to finish is wide open. It's a very, very interesting year where some teams are a little bit more balanced than normal, and so everybody's kind of in a spot where every point matters, and that makes the meet more enjoyable, I think, when every point matters and the relays count for big points, and so it's a lot of excitement going into it for sure. As goes Nate, so does the team, it seems, these days. When he has a great day, it seems like everybody else has a great day. A lot of fire, a lot of attitude. I mean, he gets the job done every time he gets behind the blocks, and so he's always going to be exciting. We're going to do some interesting things with him this weekend, see if he can tolerate. Every time I tell him, that's a lot of work, he looks at me like I'm crazy, and his body doesn't seem to abide by the normal rules of physiology. So it'll be exciting to watch him compete. I think he's got a great chance of taking down a number of his school records this weekend. Also very much looking forward to the mile relay. We're very deep this year in 400, 800 runners, and so it'll be whoever's freshest and most competitive at that point in the meet, and they should have a shot at a school record there and a high point placing. And also excited for guys like Tyler Bushman, who, as a freshman didn't really get a lot of high-end competitive experience, but he's grown so much this year and has a really good shot to be an all-conference performer in the weight throw. And Grant Malak in the hurdles, he's always somebody who, conference meets are different. He's a different guy. An average Saturday meet doesn't typically bring out his absolute best. When he gets to the conference meet, he's a different kid, and so that's really exciting. Andrew Abibo is another one too, who when it counts most, it gets exciting, and looking forward to watching Sam Merriman, Zach Rochon. I mean, everybody that's going has a shot to hit PRs. Dominic Odo is a freshman. This is going to be the biggest stage he's experienced in college track, and coming out of high school being a middle distance runner and now doing a whole bunch of field events, it's really exciting to watch him, starting to learn how to not only be good at his events but be incredibly competitive at this level. So a lot of good things. Excited for all of them. I think there again, I said, as goes Nate Wayner, goes a lot on the men's side when it comes to attitude and all that. I think the throws is big too. We open up the meet on the women's side with the weight throw, and we currently have the top 4 women in the weight throw, but we're only allowed to take 3. And so it's one of those things where I think the expectation is there to sweep it, and that is not a guarantee. You know what I mean? There's a competition going on, and so hopefully those girls will bring their best, and if they do sweep it, that's momentum, and that gets people excited, and then the rest of that, the rest of the meet kind of rolls along with it, as we saw last year when Temi was able to win the weight throw. There was a lot of energy and momentum that came along with that. I think that it's exciting too, seeing what Cassandra has been able to do this year. Her first year in indoor track, being full time, it's she's got so much potential. Who knows? I mean, she could do some things that have never been done before in our program's history this weekend, and that's exciting. And then Shannon Carroll too, I have to mention, because she just started throwing shot put this year, and she's only about 4 or 5 weeks into learning this event, and every time she gets in the ring, she just wants it to go farther. She has no idea what 12 meters means, but she wants it really bad because it's further than what she can throw. So a lot of exciting things there. Melissa Queller, as a freshman, has a great chance to score. So women's throws is definitely something that's going to carry us pretty far in this meet, and so we're excited to get it going right away, get the momentum started early. I think that what's interesting, the women's side of the UAA is incredible. I mean, there are national champions to be galore all over the place, and so there's a little bit of a national meet feel and factor to this, where you see these girls' times and you're just like, oh my goodness, I've got to roll against them. But what I love about our girls is that they don't back down. They're always expecting themselves to be competitive. We have a saying, we always say, goal number 1 is win your heat. Don't worry about your time. And I think that that's something that's really going to serve us well this weekend, because we have to ignore the performance list. You can't go into the meet and stare at people's times and marks and get excited about, oh gosh, I'm ranked 10th. Last year we had athletes that weren't even ranked in the top 12 place. And that's something that I think if you have that attitude about winning your heat, things can get done. And so I'm really excited to see people, particularly Barry Love as a freshman. She's indoors not her thing. She's from Atlanta. She's not used to 200-meter indoor tracks, and so it's exciting to see. There's a heck of a lot of potential in there, and when she gets upset with somebody she's competing against, she can do anything. And so I'm hoping somebody talks trash to her or something before the race to get her fired up. But Olivia, there's a lot of very, very talented people in our sprint group. Skylar Braga, she's a couple banged up days this indoor season, but she's coming back to full form, and also some young jumpers too. Bailey Flint in the high jump and triple jump, and Sam Kelt. I mean, there's some really, really exciting things coming from younger folks on the team. So anything goes. It's the conference meet. You never know what's going to happen, but I think attitude's everything. And if we go in and we have that attitude of of beating people and not worrying about the tape measure and the time, things could go really well, for sure.